Hello again everyone, and thanks for watching another fourth year video. Now today I have a big stack of papers and a folder that I keep with all the service that I've done to the RV. It's not just service because I have manuals and things like that. So let's go inside, let's get down to brass tacks, as they say, and I'll cover the things that I've done to get this RV ready for the road. Okay, so now we're going to go over this big folder of receipts that I have where I summarize the service records and I have the receipts. Now, don't worry because not everything is receipts here. I also have manuals. I have manuals for the furnace, etc. So it's not as thick as it seems. But I did cover, I did take some notes on the first things that I needed to do to get this RV up and running, both mechanically and the coach, so that I would have no problems on the road. So the point of the preparing the RV is first to take care of the mechanicals, to make it worthy, dependable, and then to take care of the living quarters. And I have the notes here. What I wanted to do with the RV, which is different than some people, I guess, is I didn't want to just park it and live in it. I wanted to take it on road trips, go visit cities, go visit, campgrounds, national parks, nature. So why did I buy this particular RV? Well, when I first started looking at RVs, I noticed that, like, if you buy an RV brand new and you just drive it very short time, it loses the value like really quickly, like the depreciation takes a big hit. So I thought about the Volkswagen Westphalias, the Volkswagen vans, and prices have been going through the roof. It's just crazy how expensive they are. So I also think that they don't have a lot of power, especially as you move around the mountains, unless people do like Subaru engine conversions. But that wasn't for me. It was too expensive, just not something I wanted to do. The power to weight ratio is not that great. So I wanted a reliable RV that wasn't going to depreciate, like very quickly. So when I looked at Toyotas, I saw that they have enough power for what I think a car needs or an RV needs. Reliability, of course, that's a Toyota hallmark, and the size was perfect. So I'm not a Toyota RV enthusiast. I didn't get into like the Toyota lifestyle and getting into the meets where people do. I'm just I'm very practical, I guess. So I saw the size. It's great for my needs. I like Toyota as a brand, and I think it's going to hold its value better relative to other RVs. So in that order, the first thing I did was take it to have the compression checked, because it had been sitting for more than 5 years from the couple that I bought it from. So I wanted to see if the engine was worth investing money into it. So I took it to have a compression check, change the oil, and that cost me $55 just to do that. So the next thing I did is I needed to get it going and moving around, and the tires were pretty dry rotted. So I got 6 new tires, and they were $650. And once I got that out of the way, then I took it to a Toyota specialist. I chose a specialist that specializes in Toyota, that is going to use quality or OEM parts. Sometimes you can't get OEM, but I wanted to get quality parts. And I wanted to take care of the mechanical part of it first. The first thing they did is they worked on the fuel system. The injectors were replaced, the insulators, the gaskets, O-rings, etc., the fuel return, and a fuel pump. So there's looks like the previous owner had put in a new fuel tank, so I didn't have to spend on that, but pretty much everything else was done. And the cost for that was $2,188.51. Another thing that they did is to replace the brake booster and the master, and basically redo the brakes. and that cost me $1,065.74. So after the mechanicals, then I took it to another specialist that specializes in RVs, and this was actually quite a bit pricier than the mechanical part. Most of it has to do because I really didn't spend any time myself looking at the RV, checking things out, seeing what worked and what didn't. So I'll fast forward and tell you that I spent $6,083.21 in this area. So the major things that they replaced was they put a new LP tank, propane tank, the lines and the regulator. They put a new AC unit, air conditioning unit, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And they also added a power converter. This is the converter when you plug into shore power so that it charges your battery and it provides power to the interior, as well as there's some outlets that are AC driven, so those have power. And also the AC only works when the when the shore power is connected to it. They put a water pump for the fresh water, a drain valve, the furnace blower motor was replaced, and a carbon monoxide detector. Let me see, and the total for all of this, for the mechanical, the brakes, the fuel system, and the coach area, was $9,337.46. That's the total. Now, if you just want the total as far as what was done in a number, so this is it. That's the total. So you can go look at other videos or whatever, but if you want to learn more about it, so I'm going to keep going into more detail. So what did I learn from the experience? And this is where we get into the details. It basically, anytime you pull a car, or in this case an RV, out of hibernation, for a long period of time, there's two main things that really need your attention and that will cause you the biggest problem. That's the fuel system and the brakes. So, as far as the brakes, for you kids out there, if you are going to park an old vehicle for a long time, please don't engage the parking brake, or e-brake as they call it now, because that's going to lock up your rear wheels. It's going to stick and it's going to cause you some problems. So park it. Don't put on the e-brake, and you'll save yourself a lot of trouble, because it's going to lock up the wheels and you're not going to be able to fix that. You're going to have to fix that before you move the car. So this thing has happened on every single vehicle that I have worked on. The parking brake just sticks, so don't do it. And if you follow automotive channels like I do, like Vice Grip Garage, No Nonsense, Know How, Junkyard Digs, those are the guys who rescue cars off of junkyards or whatever that have been sitting a long time. First thing they do is the fuel system, because it's usually gummed up. You usually can't get it going. And then the second thing is the brakes. So there's that, fuel system and brakes. So the lesson here is, that's what it's going to take when you take it to a specialist. Fuel system and brakes. And that's exactly what they did, and that's what cost me this money. So as far as the coach, the lesson here is that you need to be not lazy like me. You need to be more handy and know how to do some things yourself. It's going to help you not only in buying the RV and getting it ready to travel in, but also just in maintaining of it. So you need to know how to do simple household repairs, know a little bit about plumbing. Why? Because an RV specialist is going to charge you a lot of money. So some of the things that I had done, the furnace and everything, did not even include the roof seal, which I had to do myself, and I only paid like $100 for the supplies, and the specialist wanted $1,000 to do the roof. So that gives you a sense of how much money you'll save if you do things yourself. So the other thing is that I didn't inspect the RV myself, and I should have, because just going in and checking if things work, if they don't work, if the furnace comes on, doesn't come on, things like that. These are simple things that you can do. Um, Part of the bill for this coach specialist was $400 just to do that, just to check on things, which I easily could have done myself. So that's something that you should know how to do, basically. And don't be lazy like I was. Check everything, and some stuff you can probably do yourself. So for reference, an RV specialist is going to charge you like 150, maybe more now, an hour, because this was done like 3-4 years ago. So they're going to charge as much or more than an auto specialist. The auto specialist was like $100 an hour. So main lesson here, I think the coach area, you can do a lot yourself, save yourself a lot of money. So okay, so now the total that I gave you is just for the basic stuff, just to get the RV working and mechanically ready for the road. So there's a few things that were done later that are not covered in here. So the front and rear shocks were replaced, and that was around $300. I explained on another video, I think it's on episode 11, where I had the cushions, these cushions reupholstered, redone, and that was for almost $1,300, $1,293 if I'm not mistaken. So those are cosmetic parts that I opted to do. They needed to be done, but they were just cosmetic, not functional. I powder coated the wheels. Those are not included. That was $600. I put LED lights, window tinting, and solar panels. Now, solar panels and the battery and the charge controller, I'm gonna get into it because that's a whole different area that is really important, that you know how the solar panels, what you should and should not do on an RV with solar panels. So I have a whole video for that because I've only had, now as far as the reliability, what did I accomplish? Well, basically no problems on the road. I've driven it many miles all over the country, no problems. I did have an issue that came upon, and that was I noticed that when I was in Oregon, where I saw the speed jump like quite high, and I think I was showing like 80-85 miles an hour. I was like, there's no way my RV can do that. And then the speedometer would just jump up and down, and that was a sign of things to come, because after a while, when I had made my way down to San Diego, the speedometer cable went out, and so I replaced that, and that was like $145 for a genuine Toyota one, which I did myself. It was a pain in the butt, but I'm able to do it. I think you can do it too. It just takes a lot of patience. There's things that I did, like there's a whole video, episode 3. If you look at it, it'll go over all the things that I did as far as like the bike rack, the window tinting, etc. So those are not included in this total. So that's it. You know, the Toyota, if you buy a reliable brand, it's gonna be reliable. Just take care of it from the beginning. And the coach, a lot of the stuff you can do yourself. That's the takeaway. Don't be lazy like I was. Check things out yourself. See what works, see what doesn't. Maybe some of the plumbing you can take care of yourself. But once you take it to a specialist, have a list of what the things that you need done and get an estimate. Because if you just if you just leave the RV with them and say, take care of it, they are going to take care of it, but they're going to charge you a lot of money. Now, last thing about the AC was working fine, but the specialist said that the shroud was pretty rotten, like it was, you know, dry cracked from the sun, so it was just going to fall apart. So they tried to find a shroud, and they said, oh, we can't find it. And so they said, oh, you know, the best solution is to get a new AC unit, which I did, and it was like $800, $900 just for the unit plus the installation, so it was a little bit over $1,000. But later, you know, I said, how? So I started just looking at things myself, and I saw that you can buy the shroud. I don't know if it's the exact one, but so that was a questionable expense, you know, where the specialist says, well, we don't want to mess with the shroud, $200 part. We'll just put in a whole new AC unit. Again, if they see that you want them to take care of it, they will, but they charge you. So anyway, if you have any other questions about it, if you have any other questions about any specific thing, any questions on costs, be happy to hear from you. So there's links somewhere in the video where you can look at our other playlists, other videos that I've done on this RV. Check out the travel series where, you know, I took it on the road trip for like a long, many locations in the West. It's now in Miami, so check that out. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.